Greetings and salutations. It's your man CD, the fallen angel Christopher Daniels, and I'm currently at home in Southern California enjoying Southern California things. And one of the things out in Southern California that you can enjoy is the Circle of Debate podcast. They're out here in Southern California giving you guys quality entertainment to listen to. So give them a listen. Tell them Christopher Daniels sent you. Enjoy the show.
Coming up here on the Circle of Debate podcast, episode number 25, we go ahead and discuss the new season premieres of SmackDown and Raw. And also, who won the G1 Climax? And who made it to the finals from Block A and Block B? And who won it overall? Also, pro wrestling news. Also, the update of the Ring of Honor Pure Title Tournament. Also, this past week's NXT. Also, the AEW Dynamite, the first rounds of the 8-man tournament. And the Hell in the Cell, match card. We're going to give our predictions. So stay tuned as episode 25 begins right about now. Welcome everybody to the Circle of Debate podcast, episode 25. 25, 25 episodes in, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, we're almost there to the 30s, we're almost there. The host of devious one I've seen here alongside with my brothers from another mother's co-host. Of course, we have the Riddles, the Murphys, the Seidels, and now what is this, Matt Elias now, or is that what it is, Matt Elias? The Carbonation Cabron and the Hat Squad as well. That is the MGC Matt Steamboat, and also the man who's gonna save us from retribution, gonna save us from a bunch of bullshit, from David Meltzer to fucking Brian Alvarez to Wade Keller to somebody, the K word, and that's, I can't even say it anymore, but the man with the 12-inch pythons that flex for you. And that's the man who gives you a no, the great American hero himself, Mike Lopez.
Man, episode 25, we're almost going to reach the numbers near our ages. So,
I wish I was 25 again. No. Oh, my God. So, ladies and gentlemen, appreciate the opportunity once again. We're already week 25. I hope you guys enjoyed our previous interviews that we had, especially with David Marquez that we just had recently. Hope you guys enjoyed that one, and keep on tuning in to United Wrestling Network, which will give you updates shortly in regards to what's going on as well. So let's go ahead and start this off with the season premiere of SmackDown. So obviously, the first one that caught my attention was we saw Daniel Bryan and Seth Rollins in the ring at the same time. Like, wait a minute. Are we going to see a Daniel Bryan, Seth Rollins? But then, obviously, out of nowhere, the Mysterios come out, Murphy come out, and then it all went to shit. They killed the dream match that we want to see. Daniel Bryan and Seth Rollins. Can we end this feud already with Mysterio and Rollins already and Murphy? So I'll ask you, Mr. Hero, your thoughts about that segment. Should they end it already? And come on, they had it on Raw. Why have it on SmackDown now? So what are your thoughts about this this ongoing storyline? And do you want to see a Daniel Bryan Seth Rollins match?
this reminds me of that clip of when Homer Simpson was a Krusty the Clown lookalike, and he was beating up the Hamburglar and near to death, and that's what's going on with this storyline. Just stop. It's already dead because, and it's overkill. My goodness, how big of a vendetta does the Mysterio family have against this man? Sure, he took an eye from Mysterio, but he has another one still. It's okay, and I don't know. I think they need to really change it up. And another gripe I have is that it's not necessarily a season premiere if your show is not seasonal.
Right.
So I don't know. But there's that. That's just me nitpicking here and there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of those things that needs to end soon. Put them in Hell in a Cell. Dominic and Seth Rollins once and for all. There you go. Nice ending to your feud.
Definitely.
Put a bow on it. Tie it up.
Put
and
a
stick it
bow
away.
on it and then just end it already because I'm sick and tired of that.
Stick a fork in it. Stick a
I
fork.
mean, why move it from you're
Done.
moving it from Raw to SmackDown with the same fucking feud? End that shit. Nobody cares. Well, due respect to the Mysterios, it's just that why take a storyline to obviously to another network? Like you want it to fail? I mean, I'm sorry. If it did not push for Raw, you think it's going to push for SmackDown and the viewership? No, it's not. Not enough demographics either. No, it's not. So, Mr. Steamboat, do you want to see it, damn it? You want the storyline to end. You want a Daniel Bryan, Seth Rollins feud.
But harkening back to the Ring of Honor days, I mean, we get to see them in WWE as opposed to Ring of Honor, so we get to see a little bit more of these former Ring of Honor champions, give a little bit of the flavor. Or once again, a Bruce Pritchard intervention, being like, no, don't wrestle like that. Wrestle like this, the way people don't like it.
Oh my God! Right?
Hopefully not.
Let's hope not. Let's hope not. And obviously, the other thing that I'm also looking about SmackDown, obviously, when the return of Lars Sullivan. Now we haven't really touched the subject with Lars because obviously, for his situation was happening behind the scenes. Him being accused of a lot of things. But I don't see any future of his push. So we see that. I mean, we saw him when he came back a week ago, I believe so. He came back dominating everybody in the ring, and I mean, there's rumor on your windows that people backstage are not supporting him, but it seems like they're pushing him to be a dominant role player for SmackDown. So I'll ask you, Mr. Hero, where do you see Lars Sullivan's future in SmackDown? Do you see a push, or do you see him staying in the mid-card level?
He's gonna stay in the mid card. I do not see him as Universal or WWE champion. I do not see that. And whatever happened outside is in the outside. I'm talking purely in the ring. I do not see him as a main eventer. Who knows, right? Maybe 2 years from now, he'll be main eventing WrestleMania, and we'll be playing this clip, and I'll be wrong. But and I wish him well and all that good stuff. But my opinion, no, I do not see him as a main event player, and he should not have beaten Jeff Hardy. I feel that Jeff still has a few good years left in him, and I would have wanted them to capitalize more on his career than Lars Sullivan. Putting everything else aside, and just him in the ring. That's what I think.
I agree with that, 100%. Steamboat, your thoughts?
Once again, when it comes to like any controversial personalities or people, I think the fans, no matter what happens, should always keep this in their mind. It's whatever Vince wants, basically. Just like what. No matter how much you complain one way or the other, it's like if he gets along with Vince, if you see the championship on him, there's only one reason why. He's like, Vince invited him over to his house for a sandwich. They're eating a turkey sandwich and brownies, and it's like, oh, you like that too? Yeah.
They end up singing a song together, maybe.
Yeah, they'll sing a song together. We'll get to that later.
So we'll see the future for Lars Sullivan. I don't see the fans even being supportive of him. I mean, this is my opinion about it, but we'll see. He said maybe 2 years.
Supportive, though. That's the main thing.
Yeah. That's good shit. It's good shit. But
it's up to Vince. So
Papa Vinny, obviously, always. And all right, let's go ahead and move on from SmackDown. Let's go ahead and move on to the season premiere of Raw now. A lot of new faces. I mean, in Raw, obviously. One thing that is, I think, the Great American Hero will be happy about is now we finally see Retribution going down. They got buried by Bray Wyatt. They got buried by the Hurt Business. Their first loss as a, for the first match, and already they're getting buried. Where do you see this future now for Retribution? Because I'm gonna say this right now before I ask you, Mr. Hero. They should have even done Retribution in the first place. If you're gonna do this and bury these fuckers, and have them to be a jobber for Bray Wyatt and a jobber for the Hurt Business, why create this faction? Let everybody be their individual selves on Raw. And then the worst part is that you brought in Ali, the worst timing ever, and this is what you're going to do? You really going to bury Retribution this way? Revealing the leader? I give up on it. I'm sorry, but that's how I feel about Retribution. I feel bad for Mia Yim. I feel bad for Shane Thorne. I feel bad for Dio Madden. I feel bad for Dijakovic and Ali because Mercedes got lucky that she got saved. She went back to NXT. So I think they should go back to NXT, not as Retribution. Go back to yourselves. Your thoughts, Mike. Take it away.
What a wonderful start to Monday Night Raw, wasn't it? It was just like a dream come true. The Hurt Business, one of my favorite factions nowadays, and The Fiend getting the upper hand on Retribution. What a wonderful thing. I think that the whole hacker mention that Ali gave, it was WWE it's kind of saying that, yes, we listen to your complaints, we listen to what you guys don't like, so they hear everything we say. And I say we as wrestling fans, and I'm sure they hear Circle Debate too. But the point here is that they know that what they're doing is not really working out. This whole Retribution thing is not working out. So I don't see them staying together. The members of Retribution, I think all of them have separate social media accounts, so expect those to be shut down soon, and then they're just going to continue on. I do not see Retribution going on more than 2 months. I think this Ali reveal as him being the leader was the last chance that they could have, to turn this thing around. And for a millisecond, it sort of did, but as evidenced by Monday, their biggest, toughest guy, Bane 2.0 or whatever, or a half.
T-Bar
got beat up, and how are you going to see him as an unstoppable force now? So, that's all.
I know you're happy. Mr. Steamboat, your thoughts.
Rest in peace, T-Bone Steak and Squanto and and Kato and
Mace and Slapjack, Flapjack. I have no idea what it is. Yeah, I don't know. It's
such funny names.
Such funny, weird, idiotic names.
T-Bone Steak.
Bruce, you need to stop doing this shit, man. You need to tell Vince, stop. Give it up already.
Squanto.
You're burying these great talents that were made NXT. Wow,
Lance Bass, Harp. It's like in Kung Pao Enter the Abyss. My favorite member of NSYNC is Harpo. At least I think there's a Harpo. And Squanto,
Great movie. I like that.
Yes. Speaking of 2 months, we did kind of predict 2 months for Raw Underground. Bum, bum, ba-dum. They shut down. Canceled. I don't see officially.
Wow.
No more Raw Underground until further notice. So I know you're happy about that. So you had a wonderful Monday, right? I'm pretty sure you did.
Consider yourselves saved.
There you go.
My work here is
glorious.
Done. There
Glorious.
It's not done yet. You still got a lot to do.
Glorious.
You just finished Raw. You got to do SmackDown now.
Oh, gosh. Here we go.
I gotta say that that now that it's over, Raw Underground, it's one of those things that, like, what was it, like, after the artist dies, maybe the art becomes more interesting and valuable. So I'm gonna be kind of interested in just like watching it in retrospect now that it's not an ongoing thing. Just to be like, okay, this was what the experiment was. Let's see what this experiment was like while it was going on.
Right. Yeah,
Just to
definitely.
see.
Yeah. Definitely. I mean, so that's a good thing. That's another great Monday. The other one, basically, when we saw AJ Styles now introducing his bodyguard. Oh, he's just a friend. Oh no, that's not a friend. That's a bodyguard. So we're looking at another excuse me, retro throwback of Shawn Michaels and when he first introduced Kevin Nash, Diesel. I mean, and this guy, he's almost, I don't know how tall is he, but obviously he's an NXT star. He only came out on live events. So that's Mr. Jordan. I can't even pronounce his last name. It's very difficult. Last name is Omagbehin. I can't pronounce his last name, and I do apologize, for our viewers, but he got a weird name. But last name, excuse me. But your thoughts, Mr. Hero? This new gimmick for AJ Styles, this bodyguard. Where do you see this going?
AJ Styles doesn't need a bodyguard. He's the phenomenal one. But definitely it helps his heel character. And who knows? Maybe we'll see the United States title wrapped around his waist one more time, or maybe even the Universal title. I mean, WWE title. So who knows? Maybe he could be of service to the phenomenal one.
Yeah, we have to wait to see. Mr. Steamboat, what do you think?
I gotta say, like anytime somebody kind of comes up under AJ Styles, it's always kind of a good thing. You see, like, looking at his past understudies or past rivals, kind of the careers they've taken over the years, where they've gone everybody from, I wouldn't say not just understudies, I say also like opponents. AJ Styles, like serious opponents that he's known to have, like Jerry Lynn and Jeff Jarrett, and then understudies like Kenny Omegas and all those people down the line. So who knows what we'd see from this guy. His name's Omar, you're telling me. And who knows what his career could take down the line. We just got to see what he's made of.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how. It's that's a tough one. I like to see where
AJ
that's
Styles
gonna
is
go.
probably a good teacher.
I'm hoping that he takes him under his wings, right, and teaches him. Obviously, I believe in character-wise, charisma style, because the guy obviously doesn't look like he has charisma. He looks like very quiet. It reminds me of the great Khali. And the last thing I want to hear is him speaking like Khali. No pun intended to the great Khali. And I do apologize, Khali, to offend you, but we're not great at the mic, bro.
Just work on the promos.
Work on the promos. That's it. The only thing I did enjoy from Raw was Elias' concert, which I was really intrigued. The guy can sing. Very good.
Walk with Elias.
Walk with Elias, and he did a great job with that concert, I have to say. And his self-titled album is coming out, so I didn't know. That's wonderful for him. Congratulations, Elias. I'm looking forward to purchasing that and listening to it myself and to see, us here as musicians that we are, got to check it out, see how you rock. So we got to see how that.
Symphony of Destruction match.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean that's obviously we saw Jeff Hardy coming out, so we're seeing a Jeff Hardy and Elias feud. Your thoughts, Mr. Hero, about this feud of Elias and Jeff Hardy now on Raw, and Elias going heel, obviously. Where do you see this going now between them two?
Yeah, I mean, Jeff Hardy's no slouch on the guitar either. He could play also. But definitely Elias, I have yet to check out his album. I guess as of right now, I'm not sure if it's out yet, but hopefully it's on Spotify, right?
I believe so. It's going to be on Spotify and Apple. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to it.
Cool. So yeah, no, I really enjoyed the performance, and anytime we have live music in wrestling, I enjoy, no matter what style. So it's always a great thing, and especially himself playing lead guitar and vocals. I honestly would have wanted. I know that they're not musicians per se, but I would have wanted 3MB to have had that moment also. Maybe even lip syncing or whatever. That would have been cool. But
you have to air guitar. Anytime you mention them, I have to air guitar.
You have to air guitar, right?
But yeah, so cool stuff.
Oh yeah, definitely. So let's go ahead and move on actually to the G1. Finally for the finals that we obviously have not discussed. We discussed last episode, so we're going to provide you tonight, which obviously we're going to give you our thoughts. I'm assuming people already saw the G1. The ones who haven't, here's what happened. So on the final night of October the 16th, obviously there was two. It was the two runner-ups, which was Kota Ibushi and Jay White. So on that night, we had Cobb beating Yujiro, Shingo beating Suzuki, Ospreay beating Okada, which, by the way, a shocker to the world. Ospreay went heel. He turned his back on Okada and joined with Great-O-Khan, and now he's going to start his own heel faction.
Great-O-Khan, I've never seen him before, but he looks like a shark. He's got all those teeth, like he's got a mouth full of fangs. Like he opens his mouth and it's like, ah. It looks like that one guy from Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Scorpio?
Like no, he looks like more like Shao Tsung. Like Shao Tsung. No, like
a little bit of both.
Yeah, a little bit of both, and then Shang Tsung. That's what he looks like in a way, because you know how he was attire was like, oh. So I'm looking forward to see Will Ospreay now. His feud with Okada. That's gonna be something great.
Ivan, I don't know what it was, but I think it's just because of all those years being a babyface and the way Okada's being protected. I've never even seen the Bullet Club be so vicious as to like push Okada's head down, give him the finger, go fuck you. Like the way I was cracking up because the way Ospreay said it. It was like a very British, thick street version. Fuck you. Like he was taking a shit. Fuck you. Like the way he was saying that to Okada. So I was cracking up.
Man. I was like surprised when I saw his girlfriend B Priestley showing up. Yeah, showing up, and I'm like, what are you doing in New Japan?
That apparently somebody on Twitter said that's like the first belt from Stardom that has shown up on New Japan TV.
Yep.
So B Priestley isn't the top champion at Stardom at the moment, so that's like a mid card title that she has.
Yes.
So the current champion, the title hasn't appeared yet, so who knows? We might see some, something happen with the women. Like there's no women's division in New Japan, but something might happen in Stardom New Japan. The fact that Priestley's showing up, and she has the belt slung over her shoulder, and she's in wrestling gear. She's not just a valet. The way she's appearing.
Yeah, so. Definitely. And then obviously we had Ibushi beating Tai Chi, and which Ibushi was already the leader on the points. All the Jay White needed was to beat Tomohiro Ishii, but nope, Ishii ruined his fucking win, beating Jay White, making Kota Ibushi the winner of Block A and advancing to the finals of the G1. And then obviously the next day we had, Yoshi defeating Yano. We had Juice beating Goto. We had Tanahashi beating Zack Sabre. Kenta beating Naito. And then we had Sanada and Evil, which these two were the runner-ups to the winner of Block B. So whoever won that one won the whole block. And it was an incredible match between both of them. And these are two former tag team champions, two former tag team partners, back-to-back winner, I believe, of the World Tag League. Man, they have a lot of credentials within each other. Sanada taking the win. My boy Sanada won. Yeah, I was happy. Hey, I was happy, Matt. I went crazy that Sanada won. And finally, he's getting a big break of going to the finals of the G1.
The commentary team was talking about like it's basically you seeing Riki Choshu versus Great Muta, because those are their students. Those are their top students. So, and even Evil uses the Scorpion Deathlock while Sonata is using the Moonsault. You're seeing a little bit of both of them in them. So,
yeah. Well, definitely. I'm like, I was happy. I was just like, yes, thank God. He finally got his big break. It's been a long time. We haven't seen Sonata up there in the main event level in a very long time. And I was really happy that he got it. And then obviously the finals came on Sunday. The Sunday was the finals. Kota Ibushi versus Sonata. Another incredible match. I have to tell you guys right now, ladies and gentlemen, you have to watch that match.
Must watch.
That's a must-see match. Wow. Sonata was this close to then Kota Ibushi being the winner of the G1 Climax. Now will be challenging Tetsuya Naito at Wrestle Kingdom, which will be a 2-night event, which will be January 4th and 5th. So stay tuned for that. And obviously, Cody Bush is up, but I believe he's the first. He's a second or third person.
He's the third
right there. You go.
G1 back-to-back.
Third person to win the G1 back-to-back.
I forgot the other two was Tenzan and one other person.
No, it was Tenzan and Tanahashi. I think it was. I think Tanahashi.
Yeah.
Tanahashi was the second one.
But 2 years back-to-back.
2 years back-to-back, incredible.
Masahiro Chono was the one who presented the trophy. And I gotta say, both Evil, both Sonata and Kota Ibushi were, I could tell that they planned this match out the way those two put it together. They carefully, because I actually looked into the archives of New Japan's matches and see if those two have actually faced each other twice before, and those matches were kind of slow and kind of something else. Now, they were able to get together and improve and probably have the best match they've ever had. So just because, the first two matches weren't as interesting doesn't mean the third one isn't going to be good.
Right.
Wrestlers could always get together, plan things out, look things over, have different chemistry than they did before. Just be like, okay, we're going to do things way better this time. And they did. And it was really the best match those two have ever had.
Yeah, definitely. That was the two. Yeah, it was the best match they ever had. Prior before, and I believe, you know what? I know there should have been no comparison, but I feel that Sonata's match with Ibushi's better than against Okada. I love Okada, but Ibushi, wow, man, they fucking killed it.
You mean Sonata and Okada or Sonata or
no, Sonata and Ibushi, they kill it.
Oh.
They put a better show than Okada and Sonata would.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Or Okada versus Ibushi. That's just how I feel about it. But so just stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. Also, as well with New Japan upcoming events that we'll be having soon. There will be upcoming events for Power Struggle. That's the road already from there. Which is on November 7th. It's another event they'll be having, and also as well. In that Power Struggle card, we're going to have Yano versus Zack Zombre, Okada versus Great Okan. We're going to have Ibushi versus Jay White, which is for the G1. The winner of that one will advance. And also we have Naito versus Evil, and for the IWGP and the IC belt. And we're also going to have Suzuki versus Shingo for the rematch for the number one openweight title. And we're going to have Kenta versus Tanahashi. The winner of that will go ahead and face Jon Moxley for the IWGP US Championship on November 7th. So keep an eye on that, ladies and gentlemen, as we will report more. And also starting on November 15th to December 4th, two tournaments which will be happening in New Japan will be the World Tag Team, the World Tag League, and the Best of the Juniors. So stay tuned for that. Keep an eye on that. And we're looking forward to report to you more updates of what's going on in the New Japan world. And now let's go ahead and move forward with the Ring of Honor one. The Ring of Honor, so who advances, which is we saw this past Monday, Tracy Williams versus Fred Yehi. What an incredible match. That how it ended. Obviously, Tracy Williams picking up the upset. So he'll advance, and he'll go ahead and face on Jay Lethal. And we also have Josh Woods versus PJ Black. That was another one. Incredible technical match between both of these competitors. And Woods advancing as he will face the Octopus Max himself, Jonathan Gresham. So stay tuned for that for the following Mondays, as whoever wins from those two matches advances to the finals, become crowning the first in a long time, crowning a pure, RH pure champion. So I'm looking forward to that. So we'll be right back. Let's go ahead and take a quick break. And we come back, we'll go ahead and provide pro wrestling news. NXT star debuting her kickboxing, first match debut. So who could that be? I'm looking forward to seeing that. And somebody's being on investigation. 3 hotspots. That's a no-no. Someone's in trouble there. That's a big, yeah, that's right. Mr. Hero's telling you no-no. And don't forget also as well, as you're going to see the commercial break, make sure you go to our SoCal natives. Make sure you go to the Wrestling Guys store. Make sure you go ahead and obviously all your pro wrestling merchandise from T-shirts. See, I got my T-shirt. See, T-shirt there. See, also you have your action figures as well. Obviously, I got Daniel Bryan. So make sure if you mention obviously our podcast name and also that you watched the David Gomez interview, if you mention that, hey, I seen you at the interview, you will get 10% off of any merchandise. That's right, 10, 10, 10, 10.
Sean Spears.
Courtesy of Sean Spears. So stay tuned. We'll be right back, and make sure that you mention the Wrestling Guy store and watch this commercial break.
Hey gang, this is Lisa Marie Barron, also
Let's go, Kevin Owens. Let's start it. Oh, I'm so sorry, ladies and we're back. Do apologize. This is what you get into when you have to buy your action figure at the Wrestling Guy store. You have to go to the Wrestling Store Guy. You have to go buy it. 10% off. Don't forget 10%, ladies and gentlemen. You have to go ahead and purchase all your merchandise, especially WWE merchandise or any other pro wrestling that they have at the store. And so let's go ahead and move on. Pro wrestling news. We have NXT star debuting her first kickboxing event, which will be obviously tomorrow, which will be Saturday. And that will be Xia Li. She'll be making her debut, which, first of all, her background is kickboxing because she was an amateur kickboxer up in China. And so she's now debuting in the States. Her kickboxing, the promotion is Combat Night in Orlando. So keep an eye on that. She's facing a person named Anna Hassel. So we're looking forward to see her first, amateur, professional win. Excuse me. We'll see how that goes for her.
Professional or amateur?
I believe it's professional. I think combat. I think it is professional. But yeah, I'm looking forward to her. I'm supporting you, Xia. Good, go get them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully, big time. And also, obviously, Lillian Garcia joining the WWE Network now. Her podcast, Chasing Glory, which is a good show. I like it because there's a lot of drama, a lot of emotions, and just kind of now we get a better understanding of obviously of the stars that we support, that we cheer for, and seeing hear them out, talking emotionally about their background, and it's very deep personal conversations. So now she'll be making her debut in the WWE Network. So stay tuned for that.
Lillian Garcia is a really good singer. She sang Tori Wilson's theme, and she sang a lot of stuff.
She had her first album, I believe, because of the Tori Wilson one. I have not heard all of it, but she's a good singer. I'm not gonna deny that.
Talented,
very talented. Yeah. She did make me cry when the 9/11 one, the Star Spangled one. Yeah, I was hurting on that one. And I think even Deborah cried. Even she cried herself. You guys remember that one? Episode of SmackDown. And the return of The Undertaker on the Survivor Series coming up, the 30-year anniversary. So stay tuned for that. We don't know what's his role yet on Survivor Series, but it's confirmed that he will be returning the 30th annual. And plus, remind everybody once again to our viewers that it was the first time he debuted 30 years ago at Survivor Series. So this is a 30-year anniversary for The Undertaker. Glad to see him at least coming back one time to see. Looking forward, what's he gonna do? What are they gonna use him for? So
here's what I would like to see. Undertaker comes out. He's in the middle of the ring, and then all of a sudden, Retribution's music comes out. They go to the ring and get sacrificed to the dead man. There you go. You heard it here.
T-bone steak.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Wouldn't it be dope if you had the Ministry of Darkness? Everybody comes out, gang, the Brood,
Edgy Christian.
Edgy Christian. Gangrel comes out. Rest in peace. He can't. Bradshaw and Farouk, at least they able to come out. Medium, even make him come out. Might as well one time.
Not naked Midian.
Not naked Midian. No, not that one.
Why?
No, just for that one time, just for that one time, and beat the holy shit out of fucking Retribution. That would be some classic
T-bone steak,
old school.
Quanto.
I'm not gonna T-bone, Mace. So,
Slap nut. slap nuts and
slapjack, man. Slapjack. All right. And also, you're in trouble, Benny Pops. You're in trouble. What's going on over here? I think we just said it before in our archives. Make sure stay tuned in archives. We have said it that WWE needs to step up their protocols in COVID-19, especially if you're doing it in 3 different locations. Obviously, well, it's not even 3 different locations. Only 2 of them, which is the Performance Center, which is Capital Wrestling Center, and the Amway Center. So, the Health County officials they're investigating 3 potential spots, and those are the potential spots that they're investigating WWE. So we don't know what's gonna happen. They better be given a warning because they could shut it down, or we don't know what will happen. That's thing to be known later on. We'll find out. And Papa Vinny, we told you, give us a call, man. Hablamos español, hablamos filipino,
Francés.
italiano.
Francais, sprechen Sie Deutschen.
Sprechen Sie Deutsch. It's just so much. Yinzel, Korean. Like, I hope, Matt, Japanese, he could understand it.
Something Nihongo karimasu.
Arigato. And also seeing and also seeing the speedy recovery, as Miss Carter Bollier put pretty much a video on her social media platforms. Karrion Kross is recovering very, very quickly. So I'm looking forward to see his return to NXT and reclaim what he never lost, which is the NXT Championship. That'll be a great match between him and Finn Balor, which I hate to say this. I love you, Finn, but you might get squashed with this guy. I hope you put up a good fight if he does come back very quickly.
I'd like to see a classic between those 2.
Definitely. Why not?
A good long match.
That'll be a great match.
Yeah.
And also on the SoCal news, also on the National Wrestling Alliance, which if you guys missed it, Mr. David Marquez did advise us what's prime time that happened this past Tuesday. There was a new NWA television champion crown, and that is Mr. Elijah Burke, that's formerly known as the Pope, is now the new television champion for the NWA, beating Zeke Dice in the main event. So that was a great event for them, and that was a great card. They had Michael Bennett versus Kratos, SoCal Distancing versus Farmers. So it was a great event, and also the announcement for the tournament of the first ever to be crowned United Wrestling Network champion. And these are the following participants that are in this tournament. So we have Eric Redbeard, which everybody formerly known as Eric Rowan, will be participating, and he will be going on one-on-one versus Watts on the first round. Obviously, Chris Dickinson, which we all saw the Bloodsport for him versus Moxley. It was a great match, by the way. Him versus Peter Avalon, the return of Peter Avalon to, obviously to the Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, and also to the return of United Wrestling Network. We also had Carl Fredericks, the young lion from New Japan, which now he's no longer a young lion because he's already up there, in my opinion.
The wolf.
He's the wolf, which I love it. He will be facing Fred Roser, obviously formerly known as Darren Young from WWE, and Davey Boy Smith Jr. He'll be making his debut on United Wrestling Network for the first time versus Michael Bennett, obviously, Michael Kanellis, which believe me, those are 2 former New Japans, former ROH fan, talent. So Mr. Marquez pulled it off, how he said it. He told myself and Mike he will be mixing a lot of talents from different organizations, and he pulled it off.
Remember, that's Davey Boy Smith Jr. That's Lance Archer's former tag team partner from Killer Elite Squad. Suzuki Gun.
Yep, Suzuki Gun. That's right. Definitely. So I'm looking forward to see this. So which will start next Tuesday. Make sure you guys tune in on Primetime TV. You can find that on FITE TV and other, social media streaming platforms that you're able to go ahead and find Primetime on United Wrestling Network. So stay tuned as the first rounds begins next week. I'm going to be looking forward to Mike as well, and also Matt Steamboat who is going to advance and who will be the first crown. I said it on my social media account. Ray Rosso should have been in that damn tournament. Damn it, Ray. But it's not your fault, man. You got too much all over your plate. You're a double champ. So if you're watching this, brother, we still support you no matter what. No matter what. And also we have Impound coming. I mean, Impound. I can't believe the beer's talking. Impact, Bound for Glory coming up tomorrow as well. Obviously, that's for WrestleMania pay-per-view. So stay tuned. Watch that on any social media platform or pay-per-view. They have a lot of, can't mention all the cards, but I can tell you there'll be EC3 versus Moose for that TNA, championship. Also, we have the Impact Heavyweight Championship being defended, which will be Eric Young versus Rich Swann. And we also will have Deanna Purrazzo defending the Impact Women's title versus Kylie Ray. We also going to have, Eddie Edwards versus Ken Shamrock. So that's they're going to have very good, definitely good card. And obviously they have a fatal four-way for the tag team belts, which is Motor City Machine Guns, obviously Ace and his partner, the Good Brothers in the North. So looking forward to seeing that. And also you have the X Division in a six-pack challenge, six-pack scramble, I believe it is. I think it's 6 or 8. Yeah, six-pack scramble match. TJP, Chris Bay, Willie Mack, Jordine Grace, Aji Raji. I keep forgetting. My apologies because I try to keep up as much as wrestling here as possible. But stay tuned with that with Impact Bound for Glory pay-per-view. Now let's go ahead and move on, ladies and gentlemen, to the Wednesday Night Wars. Now let's go ahead and move on with NXT. NXT, great opening match between Kushida, Tommaso Ciampa, and Velveteen Dream. Great match, and Kushida's looking great to me. I am loving it most definitely. I'm glad he's changing. He has that ruthless aggression that is coming out of him, and he is doing it very well, picking up the win in a great win against two very most talented competitors, especially pinning Tommaso Ciampa. So that I was in shock. So I can't wait for the future what holds for Kushida on that. And obviously we saw Ember Moon coming back with her first singles competition in NXT, be defeating Jessie. Jessie is a potential girl that she does have a lot of potential. And I can't wait to see what the future holds for her in NXT. Obviously we had Shia Lee, which we already mentioned in our last couple of weeks ago in our archives. Make sure you guys tune in the archives. We did mention a couple of previous episodes. She's her heel turn. Obviously, she lost the match against Katie, and she just went heel, went ape shit, but she got her ass whooped by Raquel. Raquel obviously calling out Rhea Ripley. So don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, to also stay tuned for Halloween Havoc, which is next Wednesday on USA. So we're looking forward to seeing that. We're not gonna discuss about the card predictions. We'll discuss them once in episode 26. And another shocking thing that nobody expected, but it makes sense why it happened. You had, obviously, with the Undisputed Era, they were supposed to challenge Breezango for the tag belts. But what happened with that, obviously, somebody kept getting hurt. First it was Bobby Fish. Then Roderick Strong got hurt. So Kyle O'Reilly said, fuck it, give it to Danny Burch and Orton. Let them go ahead and face Breezango for the tag belts. And then some mysterious guy with a hoodie, metal plate around his face, caused the match to Breezango, crowning for the finally, which I give him congratulations to Danny Burch and Lorcan, finally capturing the NXT Tag Team Championship. And now we saw the revelation of who was this individual under the mask, and that was Pat McAfee. Pat McAfee, out of all people, but it makes sense why it happened. Because since Mr. Rich Holland got hurt, they needed to go ahead and twist the storyline. And they had to get Pat McAfee. And I wouldn't be surprised they're going to involve, obviously, Burch and working in this feud with Undisputed Era. So, your thoughts, Mr. Hero, about Pat McAfee returning? And are you surprised that they twist this storyline and now adding Burch and Lorcan into the mix-up? What are your thoughts about the storyline coming up?
I like that McAfee is not on his own, seemingly, this time.
Mm-hmm.
Last time it just seemed like he was him, and he didn't have any backup, and I don't know. I wasn't a big fan leading into the match, but now that I remember, McAfee was not that bad in the ring. He seemed prepared and was ready to go. So I'm if he's been training this all this time, and if he's been improving his skills in the ring, okay, sure, let's have him in there. If I remember correctly, he did lose that match, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so he's willing to put the talent over. So yeah, I mean, okay, if one person couldn't do it, maybe the other one can, and sounds good.
Oh yeah, and I love this heel turn from them. I like the fact that they turn heel for
Yeah.
Morgan. So I love that. So
Oh, yeah.
that makes a lot of sense with this storyline, and I'm glad that Triple H. I'm pretty sure he made the call. Hey pal, I need you to come over and I need you to be the next feud. My boy Ridge got hurt. I'm pretty sure he did that. You never know. And Pat, obviously, of course, he's a good relationship with WWE, so of course he'll do it. I mean, Steamboat, what are your thoughts about this new storyline coming up now?
I'm glad it's not like the Black Scorpion storyline where they just like switch him out with somebody else under the mask. It's very, yeah, but it's very. I always like when it's like non-wrestlers coming in and kind of like getting into some serious like angry storylines. So I gotta see. This is one of those things where I'm gonna go back because you guys talked about it. Just like with Raw Underground, I'm gonna go back and watch the Adam Cole Pat McAfee match just to see more like what did I miss. Maybe it's like unlike something I've ever seen before.
Yeah.
Because Pat McAfee's not a wrestler, so I don't think we're gonna see the usual shoot him into the ropes, hip toss, arm drag, usual like shtick. We're gonna see a whole different type of body language.
Right.
So yeah.
Definitely, I agree 100%. We have to wait and see what happens in NXT. Another shout out that I want to give out to as well in that show is that 6-man obviously tag match, which was Legado del Fantasma versus Jake Atlas, obviously Isaiah Scott and Adonis. That was a great fucking match. I have to say that right now. And all those 6 competitors have a lot of potential to develop the cruiserweight division. Very, 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 very good, and I'm looking forward.
That name's very familiar. Was De Fantasma from AAA?
CMML.
CMLL. Okay.
Yes.
Oh no, I think I saw it on the other documentary. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
De Fantasma.
Yeah.
So
I'm looking forward.
So, oh yeah, and another reference. If you guys are seeing me chewing stuff, I'm doing my impersonation of Shawn Michaels in that one interview where he's packing his mouth with all that chewing tobacco. But instead, I'm using something that doesn't cause cancer.
All right, Mike.
That we know of.
That we know of.
Oh, there you go. You said it right. So, yeah, I'm looking forward for these upcoming feuds. Don't forget, once again, to tune in for next week for the Halloween Havoc. We're looking forward to seeing, obviously, all the upcoming matches. And we'll give you, obviously, our opinions about what happened on the next following episode. Now let's move on to the more exciting thing of all time, the finale of this one. Not really, but I love it. AEW Dynamite, the 8-man tournament. We finally got to see the great opening match, Wardlow versus Jungle Boy. Man, it kind of sucks. I was rooting for Jungle Boy, but Wardlow, obviously, with an F10, destroyed him, and he advances. So, I mean, your thoughts, Mr. Hero, about this opening match. What you think about it?
Yeah, given the way that the bracket looks, it's hard for me to not kind of piece it together and see how I believe it's going to all turn out, right? And I did have Wardlow going over in this match. Jungle Boy, he'll be fine. This kid has all the potential in the world. I think he has all the ring ability, and spruce up his mic skills here and there, and you got yourself a star. So no worries on Jungle Boy taking this loss. It's all good. If anything, I really think Wardlow needed the win more than he did. So yeah. I'm happy about that for sure.
Good point. Very good point. Valid good point. The Steamboat, you have a rebuttal for that.
I gotta say 100% agree. I think the main thing is that Wardlow, you know, he hasn't really had that much mic time or anything at all. We don't really have a gauge of his personality other than him. He's just like, you know, an enforcer, hired muscle, just, you know, the brawn, you know. I kind of want to see a little bit of the brains on him just to see what he's made of. I want to see him develop some feuds. Because the thing is with especially somebody like Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy is a very much over baby face. A lot of people, everybody already loves him. Everybody knows who he is. Even at the beginning, you know, like not to say it's like this, you know, I want to put this in a good way, just so it's not perceived like, you know, but like when his father passed away with Perry, you know, everybody kind of like had a lot of sympathy for him, showing him a lot. He got a lot of attention off that though, and you know, a lot of love of that, just because, you know, it's like, okay, it's Luke Perry's son. He's making his dream come true. And it's sad that his father didn't get to see him in AEW, but his dad knows all the guys from AEW. So like that was featured big time on Being the Elite and all the AEW programming. We don't have anything like that for Wardlow, you know, of course. So we don't know what kind of person he is. We don't have the whole like who his dad is and all that stuff. So yeah, he definitely needs this more.
No, definitely I agree, because we do not know the history of him or know his prior credentials when he came to AEW. So I like the fact that he came in on his own this time with no MJF on his side and did it all by himself. And he's proven to be what a lot of people on social media are trying to say, that he's like the next Brock Lesnar 2.0. I'm not going to compare him to Brock Lesnar in my opinion, because that's a very different side. I think for me, he is himself, and I don't think he's Brock Lesnar at all. I like the fact that he has the potential. He could move for the big guy as well, and how we said in the archives before that they should really start utilizing the big guy's talent, tall men, more, because they seem more underutilized, and so why not? So I'm looking forward to see, you know, who's he facing next, which I will mention as we speak. So let's move on with that. Move on with obviously the second match. Kenny Omega versus Sonny Kiss. Obviously, Joey Janela did not, you know, compete due to the fact because he was someone that had this COVID-19 kind of, you know, interacted with that person. So they had to like, nope, sorry, bye, Felicia, cannot be in it. The replacement was Sonny Kiss in the last minute squash match, in which I feel bad for Sonny Kiss. But you should be happy. You got in a ring with Kenny Omega. So, I mean, it was the cleaner, as you saw, the two ladies up there. What would he say? I told you. The cleaner's coming back. So it's little by little we're going to see the cleaner of Kenny Omega. So, Mr. Hero, what are your thoughts about Kenny Omega's squash match? What do you see? What's going to, you know, what are your thoughts so far about the little by little revelation of the cleaner?
Let me look at my crystal ball here. I see Kenny Omega winning this tournament. And honestly, this is my first view of the cleaner. So, you know, definitely an impressive win. And yeah, you know, I saw a lot of heelish things there near the end. So, you know, I think that it's going to be kind of a build-up to full heel persona for Kenny Omega. And that's great. You know, it takes time. We wait for it. And, you know, I look forward to seeing where this goes.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to. Steamboat, take it away.
You know, I've been licking my chops.
I already know. I already know.
So there was an interview done with Conan. So it wasn't Conan who said this, but like Conan said he couldn't really talk. You know, another guy says, the guy who co-hosts Conan's podcast with him says that, you know, Kenny Omega doesn't understand the psychology of a squash match and that he could never have a squash match. Kenny just proved him wrong in less than 5 minutes. In less than 5 minutes, Kenny proved both of them wrong. And also the great thing about that intro, it also lets people who aren't familiar with Kenny know about his past accolades while becoming a heel at the same time. So he kills 3 birds with 1 stone in less than 5 minutes. This is really all you have to do when you have like a former big star. Like when you have a white meat babyface who's just kind of, you know, has long matches and doesn't really cut aggressive promos. This is all you have to do with them. Just put them, package them like this. And this whole douchebag persona, he's one of the greatest wrestlers in the world. He knows Japanese so well that he translates for Michael Nakazawa, PWA rated, and then they have all this like the montage and the cheerleaders coming out, and then the silhouette, and then just the blank stare on his face, which is a huge meme right now, by the way. It's just it's like LinkedIn, and it's just like,
yeah, I just
you
saw
know,
this match in less than 5 minutes.
yeah. So he proved Conan wrong, and what I'm most excited for is Kenny acting like a huge douchebag. I kind of hope he takes it so far that he's wearing, like, by the time this tournament's over, like whether he wins or not, I want him to wear like a full zoot suit, like pimp with like freaking feathered boa, like a cigar, like in some kind of like golden thing roll, just as douchey as humanly possible, like cutting long promos. I want him to make MJF look like a religious preacher. Like that's
That'll be something looking forward to see. Wow.
that's why I'm so excited.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen, that Mr. MGC right here, Mr. Matthew Steamboat, called it out. He said it.
He's got to take it to the whole. He's got to take. You think he just takes wrestling to another level? He could take heel to a whole level.
Oh yeah, we've seen it. We've seen what he has done in Japan. He could go to a way different level. But you know, that's
on promos.
Oh no, yeah, on promos too. On promos, I love it. I'm looking forward to see. You know,
He was thinking Katy Perry just like out of nowhere for like no reason. It was just like, man, I could win the Intercontinental title championship, and I'm gonna leave your heart racing in these skin tight jeans. Be your teenage dreams tonight. I'm like, what?
That's Kenny for you. And also, we have the other one on the tournament. The brothers, the Lucha Bros, facing each other. Ray Phoenix versus Pentagon Zero M. The younger brother had to go over. That is, Ray Phoenix had to go over. The incredible match. And I love the fact that Eddie Kingston was there on commentary. And he said it a lot of shit correctly. Their careers, they started with each other, competing against each other in the States, which everybody went like, oh my God. And they put another phenomenal match. I loved it. A great storytelling match. Two good brothers going at it with each other. So I'll go ahead and ask you, Mr. Steamboat, your thoughts about that match.
It's, you know, it's we've seen there have been other matches between those two before in the past, and they've always done like a really great job. The Lucha Brothers are probably like it's so many different tools in the box with those two. It's just endless amount of things you could see. You know, I'm just kind of hoping that the upcoming match between Kenny Omega and Ray Phoenix is like they kind of top what they did in Thrifty Off. You know, taking it to another, see if they could even, because Kenny has a habit of making sure he doesn't have the same match twice. And I know Pentagon's a little bit, Penta El Cero M is a little bit the same way as well. So
Definitely agreed. Mr. Hero, your thoughts about the match?
One observation that I've made the past few weeks is that Pentagon has one eye covered. And I wonder if that's a Rey Mysterio like shout out, you know, because obviously Rey Mysterio has his, you know, eye cut or, you know, off or whatever. So, you know, yeah, on the mask. So I wonder if there's a little something going on there. But yeah, I mean, the match, my goodness, it's like seeing two master luchadors going at it, man. Things that I haven't seen, and apparently the commentators have never seen. So you know, and having Eddie Kingston in commentary was awesome too. You know, I see him as a future commentator for sure, because that guy can talk for days, and I will listen. You know, but yeah, the whole match. I like to say that matches like these are what I would show someone if I were to introduce them to wrestling. Matches like these.
Ooh, good catch, by the way, in the mask. Good catch. I'm assuming, or you know, this is my opinion, I guess. But I'm assuming that You know, because, you know, Penta and Ray, they train with Dominic Mysterio too. So,
Yeah.
you know, obviously they're all good friends. So that good catch on that. I didn't pay attention to that. Good job on that. I don't. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna look into that now. Now, moving forward with that, the next match of that tournament, Adam Hangman Page versus Colt Cabana. Boom, boom, boom.
Boom.
Colt Cabana. Boom, boom, boom. Well, he got his ass whooped by Adam Page. I'm sorry, Colt. I love you, man, but man, what happened, man? What happened? But yes, Adam Page advancing, and I'm looking forward to see him versus Wardlow next week on that tournament. So I'll go to you, Mr. Hero. Your thoughts about that match?
I actually really liked how Colt Cabana his showing in this match. I hadn't seen much of. I honestly went into this thinking that Adam Page was just going to run through him, and yes, he won. But I saw more in Cabana this time than I have it in his recent matches. You know, especially since joining the Dark Order, or even before that, right? Number 12.
13.
But 13 and
Force
14. Yeah. But yeah, I liked that, you know, despite him losing, the Dark Order came out to help him to the back. You know, I think that was a cool moment, you know, as a Dark Order member. You know, and obviously Adam Page is moving on, and yeah, I look forward to that match as well.
Oh yeah, Mr. Steamboat, your thoughts about the match?
So we really get to see the Colt Cabana that I've seen in Ring of Honor and NWA, and you know he's a former NWA 10 pounds of gold world heavyweight champion in the past, and he's got so many great tricks up his sleeve. You know, the Superman pin. He's got so many different pinning combinations. He just kind of like Kenny Omega. He's got a suitcase full of tools just to not have the same match twice. You know. Of course, Colt Cabana, shout out to him and his podcast, Art of Wrestling.
Yes.
And he has a way of going about wrestling just to always make it fun and different every time. So whenever you give Colt Cabana a long amount of time, he knows how to make grappling funny and hilarious in a way, and entertaining. I forgot he has a really unique, like, I'm trying to remember. It was like a really fun floor spot. And I'm trying to remember what it was, but he didn't do it in this match, though. And I was rooting for him, but of course he's a heel right now, and you need a baby face to go up against Wardlow. So of course Adam Page is going to get it. So, but I'm cheering for Wardlow in that match, though. Just letting you guys know, Wardlow versus Adam Page.
Wait, you cheering for Wardlow or for Adam Page?
For Wardlow.
Oh wow.
Yeah. This match against Adam Page.
I mean, we said it last week. We said it.
Yeah.
This was so easy to predict that it was going to be Adam Page versus Kenny Omega in the finals. We're going to see that at Full Gear. You know that's going to happen.
Yeah,
and this is
I don't want it to.
And this is where we're gonna and this is where we're gonna know who goes heel and who's turned babyface. I say Kenny Omega goes heel. I say he's gonna go full on heel.
Kenny Omega's gonna turn heel, but I just don't want it to be against Adam Page. So that's the only thing. I want him to.
He'll go heel if he loses that match.
I think he already is, though. Pretty much, though. He's already like mostly there.
Well, wait a minute. I predicted that Kenny was going to win. The crystal ball said so.
I want
the ball wouldn't lie, would it?
No, the ball wouldn't lie. No.
Yeah, it doesn't mean it. Like I'd say, regardless, no matter if he wins or loses, he's gonna be a heel.
I think so too.
He's already on that trajectory. I think just Colt is, I mean not Colt Cabana. I mean I'm just like hoping Wardlow gets a lot in on Adam Page. Maybe we could see a great upset, and maybe something else could happen out of that upset. That would be kind of cool.
Yeah, you know what? I agree. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it here first. He said it himself. You never know. If Wardlow wins out of nowhere, maybe. Or Ray Phoenix wins. That would be some, what about that happens?
Because I think I've said this in another episode before. I'd be happy to see just as far as match enjoyment-wise, is Adam Page and Kenny Omega versus Wardlow, Lance Archer, or Jake Hager. Like any of the big giant heels that we have currently. Or Brody Lee. So any of those four. So.
Okay. Definitely. So looking forward. Stay tuned for that for next week as well, as gentlemen. That obviously the update of the tournament, we will provide you our opinions about it as well. Let's move on forward within the segment, Le Dinner de Monia, which is the Chris Jericho and MJF dinner. Really, you guys are over competing each other. Oh, I like mine well done, my steak. Oh, I'll get mine medium well, medium rare, blue rare, and just going into. Really, you're gonna go ahead and do like a Sinatra style or Dean Martin type of style of dancing music, Dancing with the Stars. What the fuck is that? What's up with that?
What's up with that?
I loved it. It was funny though, but I don't know. This is looking bad though. I mean, this is too cheesy for me. This is just my opinion about it. Everybody has their own. But I'll ask you, Mr. Hero, what are your thoughts about this segment? I think it's too cheesy for me.
For the record, medium well.
That's my boy.
That's it for me.
Medium rare. Rare.
Medium. Well, how about you, Matt?
So I got. Oh, well, you're not.
The meat.
A steak.
Yeah. Okay.
Order the steak. Yeah. How would you order the steak?
Okay. So what they said, they were saying, because the second after, even after blue, I thought after rare, instead of saying rare or blue, they were going to just ask for fucking carpaccio. You guys,
or the animal itself,
or tartar.
Oh, the tartar. Yeah, the tartar.
Tartar and carpaccio is like raw with some olive oil and salt.
That's what it is.
Yeah. What it is, and they smash it up and they use the salt and a little bit of lemon juice and olive oil. I thought like at some point they were just gonna get to carpaccio and it was gonna be like MJF and Jericho spitting carpaccio at each other. Like I really thought that's where it was gonna go.
But how do you like your steak?
How do I like mine?
Yeah.
Well, I like if it depends on the cut. You know, I'm a chef, so it's like if it's Chateaubriand, which is a cut of the loin, it's the fatter half of the filet mignon. Then I need it either anything below rare or have it as carpaccio. Because you got to taste that soft meat in its natural form. If it's skirt steak, I'm chopping that up and pouring chimichurri on it.
By the way, coming soon. Obviously, he's here on the Circle of Eight Network. You're gonna have Chef Matt on. We'll go ahead and take it away, Mr.
I should have cooked that steak from. Jeez.
Well, the segment itself, the singing number that Le Champion and MJF delivered, I'm okay with it. I'm cool with it. You know what? It was entertaining to me. I because I didn't watch the episode on the night of. I didn't see it. I saw it the day after, and all throughout the day I was seeing memes and people bashing it and stuff, and I thought, I'll judge it for myself. And honestly, it was cool. I didn't mind it. Was it the greatest thing since This Is Your Life? No, but it was entertaining. And honestly, I think that with the ratings, they were able to say, hey, you know what? Let's take this little risk. We're winning each week anyway, so let's give this a shot. I think they were flexing a little bit there, which is fine. It's for me. I'm all about trying something else, trying something new that might not be the usual. The usual, it's sure. Sometimes I would like to order my steak medium rare, but to change things up. So they're changing things up with this, and I'm okay with it.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Mr. Steamboat, your rebuttal about this?
Ooh, you see, this is another thing I've been licking my chops on.
Oh.
I got a lot to say about it.
Interesting.
So to top it off, Jericho's probably between Jericho and Jim Cornette. There's a whole lot of heat between those two because of Jericho's like, I'm the ratings god. Cornette doesn't understand modern audiences. Blah blah blah. And it's a back and forth. And Cornette's like, you don't know anything about wrestling. You're an idiot. Blah blah blah. You're just doing this for retirement. So I think this whole idea, especially because MJF is to Cornette is like his baby, is his favorite wrestler. I'm feeling that Jericho goaded MJF to going through with this just to piss Cornette off, because Cornette hates anything outside of wrestling as whenever they go, especially when it resembles a Saturday Night Live sketch, because Jericho clearly wanted this to be just like a Saturday Night Live sketch, just to fuck with Jim Cornette. He's like, ooh, I'm going to write for it. Like, I could tell, like, from the smug smile on Jericho's face. As for the segment itself, Jericho's known for really, like, outside of wrestling, great dramatic, funny, interesting, memorable sketches, kind of like the Kevin Owens Festival of Friendship. You know, you remember that, like, before the little attack happened at the end, they're giving each other gifts, they're wearing goofy clothes, and they're being all cute with each other, you know, the whole time. This is kind of like in the same vein as that, you know. You see, except instead of like you know, instead of Kevin Owens, now it's Sammy Guevara, and now it's MJF. And then continuing on with that, MJF, if you ever saw him in the Rosie O'Donnell show, he wanted to be an opera singer originally. And he was singing, like, "You Are My Sunshine." Like, I almost thought that people, just to mess with MJF during his early days, would sing that song to him while he's getting beat up, just to troll him. "You are my sunshine." Like, if we ever went to the signing of MJF at the Wrestling Guy store, remember, 10% off, everybody. But if we ever went to MJF signing there, we have to sing "You Are My Sunshine, My Only Sunshine" right in MJF's face, and it'll piss him off. Like, no matter what you say, just sing that song to him. And it's a great song. They even went for freaking harmonies while they were singing it. Like, MJF was going for some crazy harmonies, and like out of the guy lineup, out of the male line, I guess those are probably what you say about them as wrestlers. I would say Jericho and MJF are the best singers on AEW's roster. And I'll say this flat out, 100%. AEW has better singers than NXT on their lineup. They got Hikaru Shida, Big Swole. Marco Stunt is a really good singer too. Like, you could probably get I'd say there's probably more musical talent on AEW than there is NXT. You know, Hikaru Shida plays piano. You know, Marco Stunt plays piano. Frankie Kazarian's a bass player. How many different, like, I don't know who plays drums. Oh yeah, they got the guitarist from Every Time I Die, of course, the Butcher. So, you know, that's a lot of musical talent on one show. NXT, you guys got to do a musical number 2 and see what you guys got.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
I don't want to see no musical shit. No, I don't want to see it. I want to see some wrestling.
The AEW rock band, the AEW band. I'm ready for it.
No, I don't want to see.
Really good. Oh, Big Swole's a really good singer too, by the way.
I don't want to see. I don't want him to pull off a Vince McMahon step back, step back, step back. I don't want to see none of that.
Not even if it forwards the story, like how this is.
Okay, well, this one. Okay, Matt brought up a good point. They did this segment because Jim Cornette does not like Saturday Night Live. And not only that, you're using his protege that he loves. He's the #1 fan of MJF in this storyline plot, which is going to piss him off even more. and that's
I'm so excited for tomorrow.
I can't wait. I cannot wait to hear what he says about it, because he's like, ah!
I'm going to die.
He's already mad at FTR. You know, he's already mad at them already. So don't be surprised to be mad at MJF. You be mad, but he should know that this is used purposely to piss him off.
I actually want to give props to one more person. So tonight, the Japanese cheerleader, she was dancing for Kenny Omega's entrance with the broomstick.
Yes.
She's good friends with Hikaru Shida. Keiko is her name, and she also danced. So she was pulling double duty that night. She was dancing with the broom earlier in the night, and she's dancing with the cane later on in the night. So I'm thinking it was pre-recorded. So, but Keiko, you know, for the photography, the cheerleaders, thank you. You got dancers putting in the work, you know.
Definitely. And now let's move on to the main event, the Fatal 4-Way. Well, it wasn't elimination. It was just a Fatal 4-Way match for the #1 contendership for the AEW Tag Team Championships. We had Butcher and Blade, and the return of the Bunny. Thank God, because it didn't make no sense with QT. Sorry, QT. That storyline did not make sense with her and Ali with you. Did not like it. Glad she's back, with Butcher and Blade versus obviously our fellow members, Dark Order, Reynolds and Silverman. That's right. And versus Private Party and the Super Kick Party, the Young Bucks. Great match, great main event. All of them, especially our fellow members of Dark Order, did a phenomenal match. And I'm glad that Reynolds is okay because obviously we saw that Private Party did the tribute for the Hardys, that leg drop body splash. And I don't know if you guys saw that. Reynolds was TK'd. He didn't move for shit. He was out. He was out cold. That even Blade had to drag him to go ahead and tag himself in. I don't think that was plotted correctly, but he was out for a cool minute. And then he finally woke up and got himself back together. And then obviously we saw the Young Bucks picking up the win, defeating all of those teams by pinning obviously one of the members from Private Party. What a great match. And now we finally get to see the dream match that we all been discussing since day one of the debut of FTR coming to EW. And now it's going to happen at Full Gear, November 7th. I'm looking forward to see it. So, Mr. Hero, before I get your thoughts about it, after that we did see FTR attacking the Young Bucks, with Tully Blanchard, obviously. So first time we see them attack the Young Bucks. So now where you see, and obviously then hurting, one of the Jackson brothers with the knee. So what are your thoughts about this match? And are you finally happy that this tease is finally over and now we're going to see the match finally at Full Gear?
The Young Bucks never cease to entertain me in their matches. Man, these guys did always deliver. And I'm pretty sure it will be no different at Full Gear against FTR. The only crime here is that there will not be an arena packed full of fans for this match. That's a shame, right? But yeah, the confusing part is, okay, we've seen the Young Bucks super kicking people all over the place. Kind of a heelish thing to do, in my opinion. Was that for BTE or was that for this storyline specifically because they were teasing a heel turn, or what's up with that, right? But clearly FTR is going heel here. And by the way, Blanchard, he can still move. He didn't seem stiff in the ring. He seems like he could still move around, and hit people with chairs and whatnot. So that was cool. And yeah, overall, let's see how this match goes. It's gonna be one for the record books. I will try to watch it, wherever I am at that point. November 7th, I believe.
Yes, sir. You'll be out of town.
Yes. So yeah, I'll definitely do my best to catch that one because we've been waiting years for this one.
That's right, Mr. Steamboat.
So I gotta say this once again. I'm going to mention Cornette. He talked about, so when you put somebody's leg inside of a chair and break their leg by doing that, that's called Pillmanizing their leg. It's come to the term because I think one of the first times this happened is when Stone Cold did that to Brian Pillman.
Yes.
They call it Pillmanizing. So the last time this happened was when John Moxley. This either happened to John Moxley or this happened to John Moxley did this to somebody else. And Cornette was complaining the fact that they were using a chair on another chair. And this whole thing is it's like putting a hat on a hat. Was this whole thing. You guys put a hat on a hat. Now, when FTR did it, of course, they're, once again, more of Cornette's babies, making sure that to do it by the book the way he wants it to. So they Pillmanized Matt Jackson's leg and didn't put a hat on the hat. And, so I know during the match, that leg, they're really going to sell that leg. And the great thing is that the Young Bucks are going to fight from underneath. I could tell that they've been planning this a while between the two teams, and it's going to be, you know, it's kind of like how Ricky Steamboat and Randy Savage were really careful with how they planned their match, just every single detail, and they want to be good. Just like, and of course, the Young Bucks have learned from Kenny Omega. We never want to have the same match twice when we want to tell a story. They're going to go for match of the year with this one. They're going to go for greatest
hope
match
so.
of all time. They've been planning it a while. Yeah.
I hope they do. But obviously the big question is, what's going to be the full match card itself? You know, so far they only announced the I Quit match between Eddie Kingston and Jon Moxley. I'm looking forward to seeing that. I will be, like I said, I did say it in the archives that Eddie Kingston should win the belt. But I wanted him to win it in the triple threat because that would make more sense for him to pin Archer instead of Moxley and keep continuing the feud. But now they're making this a one-on-one, so it's kind of tough for me. I don't know how they're going to pull it off with the I Quit situation. I have no idea how they're going to do this.
Maybe he's gonna do a Rock and have a recording play.
Oh yeah! Oh my God! And they bust that. Then that's how you know they love the Attitude Era. That's how you know they love the Attitude Era. They do that. That'll be interesting.
I gotta say that I gotta say that between one last thing about the Jacksons versus FTR is that not only will they go for Matt, are they? I think it was what Mike says. It's a shame that it's not a big crowd, and I kind of wish AEW was kind of listening to us. And I said, put it on an island. That way, you don't have to worry about, you know, infectious disease audiences. You know, the whole thing with Fight Island. I say do it on Hawaii. I say do it in Hawaii. Just kind of wish what they would have moved it to, you know, somewhere in Hawaii or New Zealand or whatever, Puerto Rico, just where it's cut off from people going in and out throughout the United States, you know, and have them away. That way you get the big crowd reactions and everything without having to do something like Thunderdome or having to test every single person.
Yeah.
Although I guess that's a good sacrifice to make. Maybe they'll try to bring in more people for the show and test more people for the show.
I have a feeling they might do that because since they're already reopened a lot, they might do that. And as well, they might just turn out to have more the percentage of the audience more there. So you never know. We might see that. And I mean, if that does happen, I'll be very interested to see it and how would they do, obviously, with the whole CDC procedures and the whole everything. I'm looking forward to see how they're going to pull it off. And I guarantee you that Mr. Papagini and Mr. Bruce Pritchard and obviously everybody else will be watching that event, believe it or not. Well, Vince is not. Obviously, he's going to be told. You know, he's going to be, you know, all year. I think Hunter will be the one watching this pay-per-view to see how they're going to pull it off. So I'm looking forward to see this one on November 7th. And I'm looking forward to see how they're going to do with the I Quit match because that's the one that I'm really more – there could be so many assumptions. How Mike said it could be that with the voiceover recording. It could be maybe we will see Renee Young in here somehow, some way. They might use her like a threat, like say I quit or I'll throw her off or whatever. Like which I think they should not do that because you're busting at WWE, in my opinion. There's so many different routes to use the I quit.
I kind of wish that my kind of prediction on the I Quit match is maybe they just because of the Stone Cold comparisons with Moxley and even like Eddie Kingston because they're both kind of like badasses, street guys, hard dudes. They're gonna try to go the same angle, and if they kind of go a Steve Austin angle with it, I think we might kind of see Eddie Kingston turn into some type of, you know, this might turn one of them heel and another one of them babyface. Like Eddie Kingston's already heel, but who knows? Just because Stone Cold was a heel coming into the Bret Hart match,
The submission match.
Yeah, the submission match.
Great match, by the way.
Yeah, one of the greatest of all time. So we could see the same thing happen with Eddie Kingston, where he turns, you know, babyface because of it. You know, the audience gets so much sympathy. It's like, how much more can Eddie Kingston give? You know, and then maybe Moxley might be cruel to him. Who knows what we could see? So
I agree, absolutely. We'll wait and see on that. So stay tuned for that next week as well. We will discuss more, give you more updates of with AEW Full Gear card, and I'm hoping it'll be a hellacious card. Besides, we already know that the Bucks, FTR, and Moxley and Eddie Kingston. We'll see. We'll see how it turns out to be. Let's move on actually now to the final topic of the night, ladies and gentlemen, which we do have coming up Sunday. We have the Hell in a Cell. Am I looking forward to seeing it? Maybe just one match I want to see. But 2 matches I want to see. I want to see how they're going to do this. So let me go ahead and mention the card. We have Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton for the WWE Championship. We have Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso for the Universal Championship. I Quit Hell in a Cell match. So that one I want to see what they're going to do, that kind of twist. I Quit in a Hell in a Cell. I'm curious to see that one. Obviously, we have Sasha Banks challenging Bayley for the Women's Championship belt, the SmackDown Women's Championship. So that one I'm looking forward to see. I want to see how that one works out. And can they pull it off? A Becky Lynch, Sasha. Could they do Sasha, Charlotte? Sasha, this is her 3rd time being in Hell in a Cell. So let's see how that one turns out to be. And Jeff Hardy and Elias. So then 2 more announced to be determined because obviously we don't know yet. There's should be more matches than be announced, but I have a feeling they will not. But I would ask you, Mr. Hero, which one are you more intrigued of seeing on this Hell in a Cell pay-per-view coming up this Sunday?
I mean, first of all, I just want to mention that I feel like Full Gear is shaping up to be a more special show than Hell in a Cell. I don't know. That's just a random thought, but overall, the Hell in a Cell matches, there's none. Maybe the Sasha versus Bayley match is the one that stands out the most. I want to see how they do inside of the Hell in a Cell. McIntyre and Orton, I'm kind of ready for that to end already. Kind of wished Orton was traded to SmackDown, to be honest.
Right.
Elias and Jeff Hardy. I hope Hardy gets that victory, but I think maybe Elias will go away with the W. Let's see.
Walk with them.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I do like Elias, to be honest. I think he's a cool dude, or he seems like a cool dude.
Gotta play the harmonica. Yeah.
Let's see, what else do we got? We got J Mania.
One more time.
One more time.
There you go.
Yes.
Everybody.
J Mania has the opportunity to run wild once again.
That's right. You gotta celebrate with J Mania. But how do you think they're gonna pull? Well, oh, shit. Mr. Steamboat, go ahead. Take the floor is yours. What are your thoughts?
One more time. Gotta celebrate.
Don't make me start harmonizing now.
Yeah, there you go.
All these songs. I'm surprised you haven't done we're not cracking that Soldier Boy yet.
Oh no. Those are special moments.
Yeah, special moments right there.
Yeah. I'll just leave you with that for now. So.
I'm just wondering how they're gonna do the I Quit one with Jey Uso and Roman, and I'm hoping that'll be the end of the storyline, and bring new fucking people into the title picture.
I think they're gonna end it with
no pun intended towards Jey Uso because it's not his fault. I like them, but don't get me wrong. I actually kind of like it because they're using really family, personal shit in the storyline. But this one, I'm very interested to see how they're gonna end this I Quit match. How? What you gonna? Is there gonna be green? Is there gonna be blood? Is there gonna be red? I mean, we don't know yet. I mean, so much to know about that much, But the one match that Mike didn't mention, I do want to see is the Sasha and Bayley. I want to see could they go to the level that we saw Sasha's prior 2 matches she had with Charlotte and Becky. Can we see this with Bayley? Have you noticed all 4 horsewomen have fought in the Hell in a Cell now? You notice that? But even though I would love to see all 4 of them versus each other, so you never know. You never know. We'll see what happens with that. So, that's the only match I would want to be looking forward to. Only those 2 matches I'm looking forward to see. Like I said, I don't know what other matches they're going to mention. So we'll see what happens. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in for episode 25, 25. It's been a hell of a ride, and once again, we do appreciate and love you out of this for go ahead and actually supporting since day one. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel right below at the end of the video. And also don't forget to follow our social media platforms in the description down below. And you also see obviously our other affiliates, Catherine's Women's Pro Wrestling blog, which you can follow her on Twitter. Everything will be down in the description below. Also, you can follow the Wrestling Guy store. You can follow right there as 10%. Well. 10%. If you mention that you saw this, not this episode, but you have to mention that you saw the David Gomez episode with us, the interview, look at our archives, and he'll give you that 10% off. You mentioned, yeah, I saw your interview on the Ship with the Day podcast. You mentioned either me, myself, the devious one. You mentioned the Great American Hero, Mike Lopez. You mentioned Matthew Steamboat. Or you mentioned CK1, Chris Kennedy, or Reputation Killer, Josh Bret Horton. You mentioned one of them, you get your 10% off. Make sure you do that. Make sure. And don't forget to go ahead and tune in this Sunday as we have our top 5 picks of the week. That'll be coming out on Sunday morning. Make sure you tune in for that. We did our dedication. Sunday morning. I'm going to call this guy now Walk with Matthew Steamboat now. So make sure you tune in this Sunday for that, Sunday morning, as we're going to go ahead and give our top 5 picks of the week, which is our top 5 Hell in a Cell matches. Stay tuned for that on Sunday. Stay tuned for Saturday as well. We do have a special interview coming from Bologna, Italy. Italiano. As we have from Bologna, Italy, one of the greatest professional wrestlers out there in Italy, the Rebel Pro Wrestler himself. That's Mr. Nico Narciso. So stay tuned for that on Saturday to watch that interview. Very interesting. And it taught us here a lot about Italy's professional wrestling that we were not aware of. And it is awesome and it's great to know that we're his first people to interview him in the States. Never been interviewed in English at all. Everything all Italian, but never here with English. So stay tuned for that this Saturday. Keep an eye on our channel. Make sure you subscribe once again. And we're out of here, ladies and gentlemen. So we'll see you next week for episode number 26. We're going to have a little Halloween special for you guys as well. So stay tuned for that as well. And also stay tuned, which I forgot to mention, on Tuesday as well. Keep an eye out. We will have another one. Another interview coming up, and that was Mr. Jeremy Gomez from Generation Championship Wrestling from Tampa, Florida, which he is the promoter who is having Shao Guerrero be competing in the Diamond Cup. Stay tuned for that, and make sure that you follow us on our social media platforms again. As your host is the DB's My IBC, alongside with the DJ Mr. Matthew Steamboat right there, and the man who actually saved us finally from Raw Underground, from Retribution. He still has to work on the Rey Mysterio storyline. He got a lot of work to do, buddy. He still had that one to do. And you still have to work on Lars Sullivan.
You crack that soldier boy. You crack.
And that is the man himself with the 12-inch Python plexus. And he gives you what you're gonna do. Not you, but what you're gonna do.
When you crack that soldier boy.
When you crack that soldier boy. On the Great American Hero runs wild on you.
That's right.
That's right. So good night, everybody. Good night, everybody. Salute, and we will see you on Sunday and Saturday and Tuesday. Every day, all the other days.